Welcome, everybody, to today's live discussion on she emotions. Last discussion on Friday was really amazing, and we were able to have discussions surrounding how to go about living as single people and believers, and especially young Africans, as we are on our journey to singlehood and moving into marriage. And the highlight of last discussion, if you haven't seen it, please go on my Instagram TV. I saved the video. We spoke about miscommunicated intentions between brothers and sisters, especially in Christ and in church. So we're able to talk about the Project Brothers. I think that was the highlight. If you want to know who the Project Brothers are, okay. All right. So we have a giveaway that we're gonna be giving today with our guest, Minister Ruth. Yay! She's gonna be here today. Hi, Minister Ruth, Chef Extraordinary, if that's anything. Minister of the Gospel, YouTuber, our big auntie on YouTube as well. What does Minister Ruth introduce herself? She says life coach to be. So she's gonna be having a conversation with us today, and there will be free 3 copies. We're not going to give these copies like just like that, okay? If nobody gets it, we'll go away with the three free copies. Although I wish that the 3 free copies would be made available for grabs. So 3 copies today, 3 whole copies today up for grabs, free. So I would be going live now. Ruth, hopefully she will pick up the request. Pick up the request. We're not gonna wait for. Hey!
It finally happened.
It happened though.
Africa will not kill my career.
No, never. But it was like you were here last. You were here last week.
Yes, because I watched it and I was having fun having you read it. I'm like, it's like I'm actually there.
Yeah, we actually did hear from you, and it was so amazing. So today we'll be giving 3 free copies. I think we should give one for the early birds. I think so.
For the early birds, absolutely.
Yeah, so it's on you. What question do you want to ask?
Pastor,
the fastest. Okay. While you're thinking about the question, but you said you're gonna be spontaneous. Actually, on our YouTube channel, you have to check. I'm going to use that against Mr. Rich. She doesn't understand. I'm going to be I'm going to bring spontaneous ideas. Hi, Minister B.
So this is one of them, isn't it?
Oh, all right. So the first person who is going to type in the answer correctly. I don't know how this works. It's going to be my first time, so I would assume that Mr. Root sees differently the comment from how I will see it. So the person who gets it correctly from your end will get the prize today.
Am I still right? Am I still asking the question?
Yes. So let's give the first copy immediately for the early birds.
Okay. So if you've been following, you should know. When was She Emotions written? I know it's been published now, but in which year was it written?
Okay.
So that's the question.
The question is, when was She Emotions written? What year? Hi, Minister Papa. What year was the book written? Although it's going to be published this year. Okay, 2017.
Dr. Wanza.
Congratulations.
Why that she cheated this one? How did she know? So far.
Probably she's been following. I think the last video I posted before this one.
Said Minister Vic said Ukraine. We didn't say when. We said when.
When. So She Emotions was actually written 2017, and it will be published in 2021,
21.
and I'm so excited about that. So welcome
So Dr. Heather
everybody.
Kwanzaa got the first copy.
Yes, she got the first copy. Oh my
Yes.
days. I will have to be sending a copy over to Zambia, right?
Yeah, so you'll be sending mine as well while you do that. Since I
Okie
have to
dokie.
review it. So let's make that
Okay,
too.
okay. We're gonna make this deal of this life. All right, all right. So welcome everybody from Tilda. Oh, nice to have you here. It's been a long time. Okay,
Yeah.
so today it's gonna be more like the brothers asking questions to sisters concerning the issues of
Of
side
secret proposals.
secret
The
proposers.
silent
Yes,
proposals.
the silent proposers. So but before then, I
Mm-hmm.
want to ask the question. Let's have this conversation as
Okay.
Christian youths and young people. Let's start with when is it too early to start having these conversations? Is it ever too early to have this conversation?
In terms, are we talking between the brother and the sister or in a general setting?
In the general terms of emotions, how you handle yourself, how you should carry yourself as a lady or as a guy, and leading, because curiosity starts somewhere and
Yes.
finally it's somewhere. So when is it too early to start these conversations?
Okay, I think it's changed because when we look at it biologically, you can see that there's been, as a doctor, you know that there's been such a decline. I don't know if I can use the word decline in even like when people get into the puberty stage. When they were in the older generation, they were like maybe 16, but now with our generation, 12, 11, thereabout. So it means someone is already dealing with their hormones. So I think with our generation, the minute parents can tell like their children have an understanding of one or two things, kick off the conversation.
Yeah.
So with where we're going, even like 8, 9, you've already started having these conversations with the kids. In my opinion, because if you don't have the conversation, they will hear it somewhere, and it will be unhealthy. So I think the earlier the better, because a lot of things are starting out a whole lot earlier in our generation. So yeah, and there's too much exposure.
I don't know about you, but for me, coming to emotional life, and how to handle the opposite sex, and all of this interesting conversation, I can't remember really having it expressly with my parents.
Yeah.
I know one of my motivation for this book. I know my mom. She gave me a book when I was 13, and I think the book was titled "What Every Man Should Know." Okay. And it had about dating, had about sex, had about all of those stuff and everything for me to read. Although she did not there was no other conversation outside that book. I know. At least she gave me a book, and thank God I love to read. But I want to know for you, did you have that conversation? Was it normal for you? Because I know that it's just when I got into the university that there started being side talks, not even the talk. But I know that, yes, they weren't really comfortable to say, have you liked someone? Is somebody liking you? But I noticed they'll be asking me about my strange old, friends in secondary school. So how is she doing now?
Like, how is
yeah, so where is she? Yeah, and then over a while, we started having a conversation, and before my dad passed, they started praying for me. The Lord will give you a good wife. The Lord will, all of this conversation and everything. So for me, it wasn't a conversation I had. It's growing up now. I have a certain boldness to talk to my mom about these things. But for you, was it quite normal for you to talk about emotions in your own environment?
Yes, it was. And I think what contributed, my mom was a peer educator. So she would talk like, all these anti-AIDS clubs. So she'd be talking about sex and things like that. So I think she found it easy to talk to me because I think my mom noticed my personality. I was very jumpy. I like nice things. So I think she knew that if she doesn't begin to sit me down early and put in the values, she's going to hear what she doesn't need to hear. So for me, she started very early, like before I turned 10, maybe like 8. So we started talking about crushes, do you like anybody, and things like that. So for me, it was normal with my mom.
Yeah. And I agree with you, and I agree with your parents' approach, because for me, I was talking to someone shortly before this live, and I was asking, yes, I'm going to call you out. Pastor Papa, it was you I was talking to. Someone. He's not going to be happy with me. I'm going to call you out. So it was what I was talking to. And we said that it is, we came to this consensus that I think when we come to educating kids about emotions, it is good to start as early.
Yes.
Yes. From when the child has cognitive ability to understand things, we were saying that it is necessary to teach what is age appropriate to the child. For example, at 6, the child can learn proper ways to handle the opposite sex, because you could say things like, you don't teach your brother like this, you don't treat your sister like this. That a little child can understand. This is the part of the body where it is sacred to just you. Nobody does this, nobody does that. Yes. And based on the principles of God's word, you don't talk to a lady like this, you don't hit a lady like this, make them understand, and you don't do this. So I believe that it is they should be that way, where at every tiny little phase we could talk about this. And then Pastor Paul was saying something to me. He said that as humans, young people, we are curious. I want to talk about that. And if you don't handle the curiosity, they are going to ask questions some other places and get some other answers.
Absolutely.
Yes. So how can we handle this curiosity? Because sometimes I think it's a little bit overwhelming. Let's not just discuss even parents as elder brothers and sisters. How normal. I remember I was talking to my sister today. Even the way I have to do better. I found that even if we talk about our parents, even with me, it's
the
weird.
older siblings.
Yes. I was talking to her this morning, and maybe because of this conversation I'm having, I'm like, let me bring it home. I'm that kind of person. Like, I want to also talk. I was like, I hope no boy is hanging around you. What? I'm like, if any boy ever talks to you, give him my number. Because if he doesn't agree to take my number, he's a crazy boy. But come to think of it, that didn't. After I dropped the call, I was like, so this thing you have said now, you think that if a boy talks to this girl now, she will come and talk to you, right? So tell me, how do we handle curiosity when it comes to the because Mama was telling me something. Was saying something that when we don't teach this how to handle like emotions early to kids, you see that even there are guys who can't express themselves, or ladies who cannot express themselves. So how do we handle this curiosity? Because sometimes it slaps you in the face. So what do you do? Maybe as an older sibling or something, you have a younger brother or a younger sister. How do you break the ice? Let's even start from let's try. How do you break the ice?
I always tell people for me this method has worked, but maybe it's been easier because I'm very transparent. So that's how I personally have broken the ice. Whether it's with church members, with my siblings, I start with my experiences. Because when you're having a conversation and it seems like it's only about the other person, it makes them a bit uncomfortable and they're very guarded. So for me, even when it comes to my young sister, I began by talking about myself and my brother. I would tell her, oh, I like this person. This is how it went. Then I realized they were able to reciprocate the vulnerability, if you will, and they could now talk to me. So I think with older siblings, one of the problems we have is we're mini parents, like what you just did to your sister. That was, you were being a mini parent. So just come, no person should do this, no person should whatever. However, the conversation can be different with you asking if she actually likes anybody. That would have been different. Hey,
but maybe I'm scared of the answer. I think so. Let this be a kind of mini therapy session. Maybe, to be honest, if I think about that, I don't really know if
you're ready.
If she tells me, hey, there's been a boy for 3 months, I'll be like, yay, Lord. So
yeah, there's that. there's
You
that.
would
But
try to like forget the truth and try to create a false world. I'm not so sure about that.
yeah, yeah. Especially brothers. I get it. I remember it took a while for me to even open up to my brother. Because he was also like mini dad. So I could talk to my sister. With my brother, I was very, and this is my younger brother, so I can imagine for you, it's a younger sister. So I was afraid of my little brother. So I won't tell him anything. I'll just tell him the small, oh, I have a crush on this person, but I wouldn't go all in because brothers are very protective. So yes, it can be quite difficult with the brothers. But if the brothers they can bring the protection in a way that we know you can handle what we're bringing, then we can have the conversation.
Okay.
So we have to know you're ready to hear what we have to say, and of course we know you'll be protective, but the parenting needs to just go down a little
calm
bit.
down.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Another question I want to ask: are we having these conversations enough in the church?
No, we're not. We're not, and that's why there's a lot of all these little hiding in corners. I think if we had a platform, no, really, if we had a platform where youths could talk about emotions in a healthy way, I think maybe sometimes the church gets concerned if we get carried away. I've had, even if we're talking about like certain pastors, without mentioning names, but you know, there's a pastor who really delved into relationships and whatever, and you're going to hear things like, that is not what people should be talking about in the church. You know, it's not the gospel. So there's that. So trying to find the balance. So I personally think, of course, a Sunday service is a Sunday service. So let's have like.
But what's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong with talking about my emotions in the Sunday service? You're a minister of the gospel. What's wrong? It's part of
I don't think there's anything wrong, but I think the fact that I think it's really cultural. There's a lot of culture going on. I don't think people think that if we're talking about emotions and how to handle them, that is beneficial to your spirit.
But because I got really bored with the marriage seminars, really, those once in a while marriage seminar, really, up to now, literally, they annoy me. I got to the point whereby, because I feel like more than enough. Like I've gone through 365 days of wondering how God can help me with this feeling, how to deal with this, and then in one crash program. And that's why you see that sometimes it's like in those programs, like a whole lot of questions. People asking questions. So, how can we be better? How? Because it's back from Africa. Since when I've been having youth forum, you know, there's just this one day where, you know, the pastor would try to look funky, you know. Those services are so hilarious, to be honest. You just know that, you know, they're trying so hard. And then it boils down to, and we sometimes, I think, young people, we know where the conversation is going to go. We just keep quiet, like, good day. So how can we, like, normalize these conversations? I remember when someone actually came to me in person that I'm struggling and I don't hear much about the ways in which I can be better. I feel that emotions are gospel. Let's correct that. And in as much as we're trying to run away from the discussions, everybody walk out of wherever they are handling this. So what can we do? What are the things that we can do to make things different?
So first of all, I'm going to say congratulations because you have already started with the book. Yes. So I think I would love to excuse the generation of our parents because I don't think even they talked about their emotions. Most of them just buried it. So you really can't give what you don't have. So maybe that's why their approach when it comes to, how can you make a service about emotions? That's not whatever. Maybe we can excuse them as per that is what happened with them. But for us, we realize that this thing is really affecting us. And I think that's why God has given people like you and I platform for YouTube, your gift to write books, so we can start this conversation. So I think we are breaking the ice by having She Emotions, having all these YouTube channels with young people where we're able to talk about our experiences. So we started. All we have to do is continue. Let's have a lot of these conversations going on, really.
Yeah, and one thing too I want to do personally is that
Mm.
um I hope my mom doesn't see this before I do that. I want to ask her about her love life. How did she
Mm.
live? Like, because I think that most times the only person I think my mom probably had feelings for is my dad, and the only person I feel like, it's just that way because it's not a conversation usually. I
Yeah.
don't know. Yes, maybe you get to hear their love story, how your mom met your
Mm.
dad or how your dad, but centered around every other thing, like, did you just wake up, boom, and stumbled on your wife, and boom, you know, life goes on. So as parents to be,
Mm.
how easy do you think? Because it's easy to judge you. It's easy to judge your parents. Let's
Yep.
be very real. Let's not come here because we are not
Yeah.
there. You know, when you are young, you're filled with energy. How easy will it be to
To talk to our kids.
discuss your kids, especially about some of the foolishness of our youth?
Hmm. Yeah, that's gonna
Not
be
the
a tough
refined,
one.
well, not the refined story, oh, not the one
I know, like the
Jesus saved
actual.
you.
I was
The
thinking
actual,
about it.
yes.
If
How
I'll be
easy do you
able to
think?
tell my daughter my full
Mm-hmm.
shenanigans.
Would
I was
you?
thinking
How
about it.
hard do you think that it will be?
I have a feeling that it shall be refined.
Okay, okay. I think it's gonna be very hard. It's gonna
It
be very
will.
hard. It's gonna be
It
very
will.
hard because, and maybe that will make us empathize with the generation before us.
Before.
But
Yes.
um, but how important do you think it is to say the story?
I think it's very important. For me, I'm grateful. My dad was actually very open.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, both my parents were very open with their stories. For my mom, because of the
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
she didn't grow up in like a loving family. She didn't grow up with her mom and dad. Let's just say.
Mm-hmm.
For my mom, she didn't want to get married. She didn't
Mm-hmm.
want to get married. And I can say because she says it when she's preaching all the time. So for her,
Mm-hmm.
she didn't want to get married. So my dad was actually like her brother in the church, like her big brother.
Wow,
Yeah.
brothers, brothers.
Yeah. So my dad was actually dating another person. He was dating another person. I think they had gone as far as almost marriage, where he's maybe seen the other person's, I think their parents. Then one day, as my father was praying, the Lord tells him, "That is not your wife. The woman that you're with is not your wife. Is your younger sister."
It's your
And then
younger
it was
sister.
so weird because my mom would come and tell my dad, like, all the guys that are hitting on her and how she's angry. Then now this man has to come tell her, "You're my wife." So for them already, I'm like, then what were the emotions?
Yeah,
That's the thing with our parents' generation. It's a bit different.
yeah,
So my dad tells my mom, of course, she gets angry at him, and she's like, "Bruv, no, I told you I don't want to get married." And so
yeah,
she's mad at him. And then while she also goes to pray, the Lord
yeah.
also tells her that's her husband.
Wow, Lord help us.
Yeah, so so that's how they had a conversation and they started courting. And today they have a very great. Someone says there's hope for people in Brother Zone.
That's Minister Vic. He said there's hope for people in the brothers. Amen.
Yeah. So for them, that was that. So they were able to share that with my dad was able to share his past mistakes and things he had done before he gave his life to Christ and all that. I think sometimes the worry is you feel like when you're telling so much of the mistakes you made, I don't know if you feel like you're telling the children that they can make their own
They
mistakes.
can make their own
And I
mistakes.
think, yes, that's why parents create this narrative of, no, I was very good and whatever, because they're afraid that if they go all out to tell you,
Yeah.
they're almost telling you you can also make your mistakes. And
Mm-hmm.
none of us want to accept that. We don't accept that our kids can make their own mistakes.
Yeah, but
So that's what makes it hard.
I beg to a little bit differ on that because I remember that I have this YouTube video that I made that I talked about how God delivered me from masturbation and sexual sins. I remember that after I was really nervous making that video, like to be honest, like I didn't know if I was gonna post it. I'm like, hey, how will you post that kind of video? Chai! It's something
Cringe.
it's something that I have been vocal about with people on a one-on-one. You know,
One-on-one, yes.
I felt like it's a one-on-one story. You don't just put out that kind of story out there. Hey, it's too like it's not gospel.
Too
We should
much
be telling
information.
gospel. It's too much information. But do
Yeah.
you know that when I shared that story, some people, like it was like series of like 4 or 5 people who opened up to me because of that story.
Wow.
So many times when we show that we are not perfect ourselves,
yes,
it makes people understand that their life is not a crazy one. Because sometimes I don't know, when you sit and all you hear is a perfect story, you're like, then I must be the problem, and
absolutely.
I cannot be saved by God, because
Yeah.
obviously everybody is having their own stuff together. And I'm not advocating for leaders to fall into sin and fall into stupidity. But I was listening to one pastor. He says the reason why people do not forgive their leaders when things happen to them is because they were never sincere and transparent.
Yeah, I agree.
So it was almost like, wow, you like of all people, and I'm not saying this just talking about sexual purity and all. I mean in all areas, when you tell the greatest story of integrity in one way or the other.
Yeah.
And you never get to talk about your own lapses. And at the end of the day, when things happen, people are too shocked to like.
Absolutely.
There's nothing wrong in being like the rest of everybody, because you're human and that's what you are. Being a leader doesn't give you an elevated position of like
over
a special
others.
kind of gene that you know things that happen to you. Should let people know that things that happen to you can happen to me, but I've only just developed myself to be in this place, and you can
and
also
so
grow
can
up
you.
to be in this place. So I think in opening up, people can find a space
it becomes safe to talk.
Yes.
Yes.
So I think that's one important reasons why these conversations have to be normalized. Okay, dokie. I think we can now go straight into some of the other things. So we can try to do the second giveaway. So this will be
your question.
My question. So already congratulations to Helen. That's Helen, right? Dr.
Yes, Helen,
Mwanza.
Dr. Mwanza.
Yes, Dr. Helen, she won the first free copy today. We are giving 3 copies today, so there are 2 more copies for grabs. Are you ready? If you're ready for the question, I want to see you give me a thumbs up. Give me your favorite emoji. If you're ready, give me your favorite emoji. Yeah. Also, you cannot oppress me online. Mr. Adam.
Steal your papa book now.
Your papa book now. Papa buy book for your pikin. All right. So the question is this: I don't even have a question. No. Hey, Mr. Rudy, you have a question.
You're now on the spot.
You stole my question.
Oh, that was your question as well.
Yes. Okay. Who can, apart from Minister Israel, obviously, you say they love your Nigerian accent.
Thank you. Even Zambians here say I sound Nigerian sometimes.
Nigerian. Oh, we corrupted you. We are sorry.
I throw in a bit of pidgin here and there.
Okay, so the question will be, what did we describe? There was a certain description to brothers that we spoke about the last video. Minister Ruth was the one actually that gave that name from the book, from the chapter that she wrote. So what was the name we called them? What name did we call the brothers in the last conversation we had? What did we call them? We're waiting. I can give clues. Brothers who like to help sisters get better. Israel, no expo. No, now gospel brothers will be gospel brothers will be a bad name now. Brothers should be gospel. Okay, congratulations, easy, simple. Project Brothers, yay! Good job. So, Minister Ruth, can you tell us about the Project Brothers? Tell us about the Project Brothers. Tell us about the Project
Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to start with this. I know that I think innately men are created with a heroic instinct. And I think that comes from God. So they're usually, you know, always coming in to help. They have that heroic instinct going on. So even when it comes to church, there's always this, you know, as you see one sister, you want to help, especially the brothers that are ministry inclined. I'm going to call you brothers out, the ministry inclined ones. Yeah, so there's always this hunger to help, you know, she has to do better and all that. But there's emotions involved. So even when something starts so pure, so genuine, no, let's just pray together. We've heard these things 1,000 times. Let's just pray together. Let's do this. Let's do that. You realize that somewhere along the way, it doesn't work. So if there are two ways. Either you have like open classes, like you know how we have Bible school. Do that. Like have a number of youths come together and teach, or have more than one person. Your intentions are good, but I think you're not being careful and wise. And for me, this is something like I had been seeing with my dad. Like when my dad is a pastor and my mom left. After my mom left, I never saw my dad pantsing a woman. Never. He did not. He did not even pick up anyone in the car. He refused. Because even if nothing happens, you're creating an environment for people to start saying stuff. And the Bible does tell us to, you know, you flee from the appearance of evil. So imagine even if something is pure, this brother and sister are always meeting together, you always see them in buffet or McDonald's discussing. Come on, which person is going to have the time of day to say, you guys are doing mentorship or something like that? So it's best not to delve into that.
Okay, I think let us bring Minister Israel to come and tell us about Project Sisters.
Project Sisters.
Minister Israel, send me a request live. You know, during the edit of this book, you have read the book, I think. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. A lot of people that have edited the book, someone, let me not generalize, said maybe you spoke about men too much, maybe you spoke about ladies too much in this book. So that's why I said this book is created to start the conversation. Okay?
I love it.
It's created to start the conversation. It's one reason why I didn't do much edits. The only thing I changed is the tone of the book, because I think the person who wrote as 2017 was just a wicked person. The book was screaming. Minister Israel, we're waiting for your requests.
But he's right about the Project Sisters. I think for me, I only talked about the brothers because we're talking to the brothers from a sister's perspective.
About the brothers. While we're waiting for,
the sisters are there too.
While we are waiting for Minister Israel to also, we've done all the readings. Don't worry, we don't need more editors.
But he had left. Wasn't that 2016 when Minister Adams left?
Yes. Oh, yay! Also, you left when we started writing when I started writing the book. Okay. Yes, Minister Israel, please tell us about the Project
Sisters,
so that we can handle it, because one of the concerns I have about this book, even about the cover today, we're doing the design. If you saw it on my status on Instagram, you see the boy is much more than the girl. And then maybe another cover, the girl is much more than the boy. I'm just afraid of this generation. Somebody might say she emotions. Why is the boy more than the she?
Oh my God.
Why is the she? Please, guys. Let's calm down. So maybe that's what Mr. Israel is trying to do here. So Project Sisters, tell us about them.
Tell us about them.
Well, Project Sisters, they're very interesting people. Okay. And the truth is this.
Is this from experience though? We need to know.
Yes. Yes.
I think
I've
had this experience. A Project Sister.
So you've been a project.
I've had this experience. And basically, it's the same thing they call as positioning themselves. You know, they don't shoot the shot, they don't say anything, but then they strategically position themselves. You know, it's a brother's birthday. right? I understand we're all brothers and sisters in church, but why is it that, you just want to make food for that brother? You come into church on Sunday, you just
It's
think about
not
the
cook for the
brother.
rest of us. That's used to pay
Yes,
me.
other people should die of hunger. Just that brother
Yes.
should eat, Someone is asking, did I enjoy it? Well, initially, but then I had to hold myself back initially, but then I had to call myself back to order. The truth is this, it's very okay to like someone. Okay, someone says they put themselves in front of the God and place your hand on the
Dr. Emma is asking you so many questions.
Yes, did I complain? No, I
Did you
didn't complain.
complain?
No, I didn't complain. I had to be very wise about it because one thing I've learned, or one thing I'm learning over time, is that the way you handle people could either make or mar them. Okay, it could either ruin their confidence.
Sure.
And really, you can't blame these people or you can't blame a lady for feeling a certain way or for feeling a certain way towards a brother. You guys are spoiling someone's package. And the truth is this, right? And that is the same thing with the Project Brothers. It's just that the Project Brothers are much more direct.
To the spiritual
just
side.
Like you said, they have this heroic thing, yeah. But then with regards to the sisters,
I think
very
hero,
subtle way.
not sure.
Basically, yeah. So you see, they do it in a very, very subtle way. You, the brother, if you're not careful, you wouldn't even realize. I can bet you that initially you will not. You just feel like you are just this one-worded brother with the
wow.
who always has a solution and answers to our questions at every point in time.
Yeah.
See? So really, and that is why, like you said, caution is very, very necessary. It's very, very important. Once you notice that, you start every time as a lady, you want to talk to someone, you want to ask the person questions. Something as basic as I've seen scenarios where this didn't happen to me actually because I didn't allow it to get to that point. That I've seen scenarios where a lady goes as far as asking a guy that, oh, I'm going out or I want to go to this place and I have these options of outfit. Which one should I use or which one should I wear?
For you. No, fire.
Wow. Wow.
That is no longer something.
Yes.
It's more
I think some brothers are too, I don't want to use a bad word. They're too clueless.
I use the word
I
naive.
don't get it.
No, see, for example, even in the Bible, look at the life of Samson, right? Delilah had a project. The project was to bring him down. It's that simple.
Yes.
And she kept on trying. Kept on trying, emotional blackmail, all these things. Before our brother knew it, he had to give up the secret.
Yeah.
And he didn't tell me that. And the funny thing is, at a certain point, his own was even so glaring that he got to know that this is what she wanted to do, but he couldn't resist. And that is why it is very important to be able to draw the boundaries early, very early. Especially if you, as the brother, you are not interested in the person. I've always said this in
don't eat free food. Don't be greedy.
Yes. No, I think, honestly, brothers, I'm glad Minister Israel is here because Minister Israel and I are friends. So we can use our friendship. Like now, we've never had any higgy haga. We can use our friendship right now to talk about how you can maintain a healthy, like how you can tell something's off. So Israel, for example, how often do we talk in a month? Let's start from there.
How often do you
how often do we have conversations? See, you have to think.
Going on.
Exactly. So
or probably maybe when there's a WhatsApp status that draws one's attention or the other,
Of course. So when you see a sister Monday, hi, Tuesday, hi, Wednesday, hi, have you eaten? I don't understand how a boy would be like, no,
I don't know what's going on.
Because you have other female friendships and you realize that we check in once in a while. Israel can even count how many times I've actually cooked. It's after 5 and 5, 6. When are you cooking something?
It's literally, guys, I had to fight hard for her to make food for me to eat.
Yeah, and I think that let's try to now make it a little bit relatable. I think everybody has that tendencies.
Yes.
For a guy, the tendency to want to save, and for a lady, the tendency to want to nurture.
Yes.
Now, so I will let the other people give their own, because Dr. Eno was asking about the boundaries. When you send a text and the person does not reply and it starts becoming a problem, you know something has gone somewhere.
Yes.
When you cannot call once and the person did not pick and you drop your phone down, there's no emergency. I'm not saying emergencies are different. So when things becomes awkwardly special, you zoom out. And I think that we all have to learn to catch ourselves and to have people who can tell us, because let's normalize that. The reason why we're having these conversations is that so that we can have better relationships and with our brothers and sisters in the Lord, and moving on to a really normal life. So you must have people around you. Sometimes you must have people that knock your head and say, see,
you and this person,
it's no longer normal again.
Exactly.
And then there's one thing, let me have my own tag that I want to put: the evil brothers. And I feel like God has a special cane to whip those people who know that a person is showing you an unusual care, and you know that from your own side there is nothing. Now, I always tell people that it is you who is sin. It is your responsibility to draw the line at that point in time. But you see, most people know that nothing is going to really go on from this point from my side. I'm going to eat this rice. I'm going to pray. I'm going to go to church, study the word, speak in tongues. But because of, like, I don't know, you want to enjoy free food. You want to enjoy attention.
Exactly.
Some brothers are attention seekers.
Well,
they love it.
They love it
when you love it when they call. You love it when people lose their mind over you. You need deliverance. You need the Lord to help you. Because I've seen when some people intentionally facilitate those areas that least be seen. Until who is that?
Gabriel says sometimes.
Gabriel, hunger is no controlling factor.
Hunger should not lead a person to hell. It was hunger that led brother Esau to lose his birthright. So you should be able to know that. So another thing for me, I think the boundaries. Yes, I want to ask this question. I had this in mind to ask Mr. Ruth. Do you think that, because it is not always in the context of sin, okay?
Yes.
Now let's bring it to the context of people who are matured and to get married.
Yes.
Now there's a part in the book, guys, you need to get it, okay? Where now of course, where I spoke about brothers being genuinely confused. They don't know if this sister is the one. Israel, can you help before we get to Minister Ruth? Honestly, can you agree that there's a time in a man's life where this sister can be in your head when you're ready? I'm talking about someone who is you're spiritually mature, your age is there, financially you try, you understand, you know that if you go to someone's house, they'll not whip you with cane, and then all of a sudden you're ready to like Gabriel Day, confusion day. So many brothers want to play safe. Let us be very straightforward, because we say we want to have the honest conversation.
True. Yes.
Now they want to play safe in the sense that you don't want to go the right way. You don't want to go and ask the father. You don't want to go and ask the mom. You don't want to go and ask the spiritual parent because you're not so sure. So does this really exist, Israel? Can you confirm that this is a real stage?
Yes, it's a real stage, and this is when prayer and fellowship really comes in. Okay, it's real. It happens. Okay, and like I said, this is where prayer comes in. This is where, because to be honest with you, you can find yourself in a scenario where you might be matured, ready, and everything, but you have like several options. Okay, you have like, and then one thing also that many guys experience is the fear of rejection. Okay, the fear of rejection. So it's like they might be looking, okay, this person might say no, okay, no, or this person is like showing some interest, you know, and probably the person even showing interest is not who they, you know, a certain part of like they have more desire for and all of that. Now this is where prayer comes in, and there's one thing I'm beginning to see that is lacking in this generation. For example, when Minister Ruth was talking, she said something. She said her dad prayed and God, he was about getting married to someone, and then he prayed, you know, and then God said, no, stop, it's this person. Do you get it? And then, but then in our generation, it's beginning to lack. You see, you rarely hear people say, oh, God told me, or God led me to this person as my wife, or God led me to this person as my husband. Our generation.
But sisters don't want to hear. They don't want to hear that these days.
No, you don't need to tell them that.
We will
You
have a day for that conversation.
Yes, you don't have to tell them that.
Can I just
God will
interrupt
tell
a
you.
little bit before you continue?
Yes.
We don't mind that you heard God, but you to package them.
Well,
how? Okay. Please help. How can? Please help, because now it's good to have this conversation in this like very general sense. How can you package God told me? What are the other ways you can say it? From a female's perspective, how can a brother say God told me without saying God told me?
I can't believe Gabriel said, please, God did not package it for me. Okay.
Wait,
Okay,
can I say something real quick before you start?
How do we package? We need to know.
Listen, this is our issue as the Christian kingdom women, right?
Yes.
Of course, I personally, I'm not even willing to marry a person who has no conviction about me. Like, if you can tell me you want to marry me just based on my beauty, my figure, or whatever, honestly, I'm not impressed because I'm a daughter of Zion. Do you get me? So I want to know that you have my father's permission, you know, to marry me. However,
what if I just want to give you the keynotes? I want to start from the beginning, start from the Lord.
No, in coming to tell me, you should still pursue me properly. Like, I don't know why you people remove all the go ask out on a date, sometimes bring flowers, not giving your intentions. You just call me after church service and tell me God told me.
I think this is a big mistake that so many guys make, and it is wrong. Okay, brothers, we are following our hands. Let me tell you something. God has told you, you've gotten your confirmation, right?
Mr. Israel. I think let's keep this conversation for the next one, okay? Let's leave. Let's leave.
Please, I'll be there. I need to speak for the lady.
What it means to pursue. Let's just hang it there. So, guys, you need to follow this conversation before the book comes out, okay? I really want us to stay on a very tiny line here, okay? Let me try to direct. But I wrote it down, guys. We need to get 5 or 6 people texting on the comment pursue or pursue. From where I come, we pronounce it pursue.
Wow.
Or pursue. So if we have like 7 people, the pursuits, 7 people should type the pursuit, and then the next life, if we get 7 people, the next life will be about the pursuit. What it means, you know, how it means to go about that. So we have 2. We're waiting for 5 more, and if we get 5 more, okay, that's 3.
We have 4.
We have 3. Let's go.
We have 4 already.
In French.
We will have in French. We have 5.
6.
Okay. We
have
6.
7.
Done.
We have 7.
We have 8.
Okay, that's great. The next life will be about the pursuits. Okay. All right. Let's about something today. Minister Israel, sorry to cut you short. I just want us to, because you know this is a whole lot of conversation. I want us to get now. I feel like there's a point where I think it's changing our generation, but these things happen because ladies are not allowed to be vocal about things like this. Which I don't think, my own opinion in the book, I put it down that I don't think that it is right. I'm going to train my daughters to be very vocal. And I think that that's the point whereby, and many brothers also are gaslighting, whereby you act a certain way around a sister, and then if she asks the question, you know, many of them lie. And I think it's not cute, you know. They say, how could you think that, you know? I think the last life, somebody was on the life and said the brother was even like angry at her, like, you're not spiritual just because I'm praying,
You're carnal.
and all these things. Now you are now saying, and all this, all those stuff. So, what do you think that this social, like, I don't know how to put it, hanging over ladies, whereby you hardly can ask a brother, so please, this one that after service you help me carry my bag and going home and all these things. What's up here? What's happening? Why, I feel so comfortable to tell you my family issues. Nobody understands me better than you do. You're such a good listener and all. So, how does that affect ladies?
The ladies.
In this part of what we're talking about, silent proposals and all these things. Yeah.
Okay, I agree with you. I think for me, right, I think at the time, the reason why I didn't took time to ask the person what's going on is because I think ladies sometimes would think like if you're asking, you're going to come out like you're too strong, or it's you who wants the relationship, so you're asking. So for me, when it comes to the man-woman thing, I deal with my pride and my ego. So I am not gonna be the one, even if I like a guy first, if I see he doesn't like me, we will crucify those feelings, because I know it's another conversation, but me, I will not slide into a man's DMs. I'm sorry, that is not me. I'm old school. So
I'm old school too. I'm old school too. I don't know about Israel.
I'm somewhere in between. Old school, new school. I'm somewhere in between. Here's the thing, and the reason is this: I grew up in the French country, and it was very normal for a lady to walk up to a guy. In secondary school, we saw that a lot. Let's leave
that hanging. We'll still talk about that. Who should go first?
Okay. We have a lot of lives then. Oh, Anna is new school then.
All right.
All right.
But I have to say something, please. I have to say something, right? Christian sisters, please, you are too proud. Bring your shoulders down a little bit.
What do you mean by that, Israel? They'll come after
exactly.
You. This is the gram. Yes. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by they are proud?
Yes. What I'm trying to say is this, right? A lot of times, you position yourself for a brother, and you do it in a very subtle way. And then when the brother, let's assume he's interested, and then he comes, you still string him along. And then at a certain point, he gets tired, and then he walks away. Now you get angry.
Well, maybe. No, but I don't think it's all that evil.
To string him along, but you like him.
I think it's part of, sometimes women love to be chased. Yes. So it depends. Don't overdo it.
Yes.
My own problem is don't overdo it.
Because you have to chase and all of that. But then also, yes, I'm all for this guy chasing the lady.
I like you too, but you still need to put in the work.
Yes, 100%. I'm all for that. But don't make the guy put in the work to the point where he's exhausted. And then, see, let me tell you, the brothers in this generation, we don't have patience. Let me put it out there. The brothers in this generation are not patient at all. I can tell you that.
I think we need a channel for Baba Easy. He has a lot to say.
I think everything should just be done in moderation. And
yes, Meleka says it's very important. There must be moderation.
I don't want to give up a lot of things. Like I said, I want the book to start a conversation. So in this book, I wrote what I think the normal steps should be. Okay. About how to go about it. Having to practice some of them myself, I think, in the next conversation, in the next. I didn't say anything on live, oh. I didn't say anything on live.
Please, you must carry us along on YouTube.
I'm going to review some things myself, and that's why I said the book is for conversation. I'm not changing anything. Yeah, I want every one of us to read, and we're going to open more conversation about more conversation about it. But I think that ladies should be able to say, please, what's going on here?
No, absolutely. I think that's something you said.
Yeah.
It's your responsibility as a lady to guard your territory. And it's at the expense of this guy thinking I'm too forward, she couldn't even allow for this friendship. That's okay. Because you're the one who determines who should come into your life.
Yeah.
So something I would encourage ladies right now, like you can tell, I get an example of, I talk to both of you. I don't talk every day. We check once in a while, hey, what's going on here? But if every day now, I'm seeing one brother, every day you're calling me, I have the right to ask. What's in the matter? What are you looking for? And if you can't up, no, I'm just your friend, I'll tell you, we don't do friendship like that over here. I don't have friends who talk to me every day. You know?
Yeah,
so you
Zoe
let the
saying
person
something
know,
and it's very
like,
true.
protect your territory.
Yeah, Zuleka was saying, yes, if you give guys freedom, or more, they will overdo. And that's actually true. Some guys don't really know where to call it quits. They don't know where to stop and place the boundary. And it's
so
wrong.
You need to draw the boundaries and tell him, no, you can't keep calling me, you can't keep bringing me snacks and doing that. I think another thing, from experience, like, let me just put myself out there. So of course, as ladies, we love attention. Right? So this is something Pastor also said. Like, sometimes why it's hard.
So the evil sisters, I spoke about the evil brothers, the one who like
we are there too. And
now the ladies who love the
ladies,
attention.
to be honest. I think it's worse with the ladies. Ladies love attention. We love attention. So sometimes you even know as a lady, oh, I'm not interested. But you keep getting the gifts, you keep picking the calls until now you're very tired, and then now you start telling him, I don't want you. So for me, in the case of the friend I wrote about, I think we're in a situationship, to be honest. Like, it wasn't discussed, but that's what was going on until I reached a point where I felt like it's becoming too demanding for me. Like, so I need to ask Uncle, what is going on? And at that point, of course, he was immature at the time, and because I'm quite at least emotionally intelligent. I could pick he liked me. I knew I wasn't asking, like, I was just trying to start a conversation. And then he now comes with, hey, have you caught feelings? I said, I've caught feelings, I'll be okay. So I want to uncatch my feelings. So I told him not to call me again. But that's something I should have done in the beginning. But I was enjoying the attention. So we need to be honest with ourselves. We need to really be honest. Sometimes you may not know, then you find out, I'm catching feelings, so you do something about it.
And I'm just gonna say one thing I wrote in the book, and I think it's a valid point from my own reasoning, that many times, like I said, brothers are genuinely confused. And if you don't set that boundaries, they will not be able to make the right decisions. Many times, because they don't know, do I like this person? Am I ready for marriage, or am I not ready for marriage? So help, as a sister, help end that misery and that confusion on time.
Absolutely, I agree.
By not making yourself available, it's going to do two things. It's not going to be very peaceful and have the clear picture. I don't want to do that. Now, we're saying in a sense of when
men are confusion 5.5.
Zoleka is in this comment like
so help on time, because you are not supposed to be for experiments, for someone to,
even if you like him, even if you like him, that's a tough one.
Even if you do, if you set the boundaries, you're gonna make it faster and easy for the young man to make his decision.
Exactly.
So there's no space. Don't joke. And one thing I found with growing up now and getting to this stage of my life is that it is very important because we talk about purity in the sense of not having being sexually involved with a person, but also emotional involvement is going to be something that you're going to carry on going forward. So God expects emotional purity, and all this, like sneaking in here with people like this, talking to someone, is going to be something you will have to deal with later. It may bring insecurities, and everything. So set emotional boundaries. They are very, very
That's really
important.
powerful.
It's very important. So I want to ask one final question. We still have one more book to give. So congratulations to Dr. Helen, to Dr. Amanda for their free copies, right, of the book. So we have one copy to give. Guys, if you've not ordered your copy yet, what are you waiting for?
What are you
Now,
waiting for?
Dr. Esther was asking what was my motivation for writing this book. I wanted to write this book to start the conversation with it's not also in this book you will see parents towards kids, kids towards parents, and so the book is just to start the conversation for people who have it very difficult for to have these conversations, to talk about these topics. I wrote this book because, like I said earlier, when I was younger, my mom gave me a book to read when I was 13. What Every Man Should Know. I remember the cover. It was so vivid. It was the black African boy, bulgy big eyes and afro head. It's that so it's so vivid in my mind that I can't forget it. But I felt like the book was written by I'm so sorry, I don't mean to be any like, I don't know, some way. But the book was not into the African culture. It didn't deal with things like from where I grew up. I couldn't relate. The book was too foreign. So I was thinking,
couldn't relate.
I couldn't relate. I was like, what if I could write a book that could start the conversation much more easier? Like, put the story, don't beat around the bush. Just break it all on the table and let's all start having conversations. So that's why I wrote the book. And it took me a while because I had imposter syndrome. I was like, will I write anything anybody will want to read? So that's why it took this long. But I was like, shoot. Let's just do it. It's initially supposed to start a conversation. So
let's start the conversation.
Let's start
Who knows?
the
We could
conversation.
have a series of She Emotions books.
There is. I started the second one already, but I don't have the legit credentials.
I get it. It's still in ideas and stuff.
No, I have actually put it down. I've pieced it down already, but it's called Road to the Altar, and I have not finished my road to the altar, but I have boarded the bus. I bought the tickets. I bought the tickets already. So when I finish it, hopefully maybe some few weeks after my wedding day, we should be talking about releasing. So let's finalize here. Minister, can you tell us about, you said in the book where you were sharing, you said actions do speak louder than words. Although ladies love to be affirmed by words, but actions really matter. Can you throw more light on that?
Okay. So like, I'm sure my ladies, I love the conversation in the comments. The people on this live are just amazing. So the ladies will come in and bear witness. So as much as we like to hear, great words or someone saying something, but at the end of the day, we actually look at actions. So when a person, even if a person is saying, oh, I like you, and you call me once in 2 weeks, I'd be like, how? It doesn't make sense. But if a person calls me every day and he has never said, I like you, who do you think I'm going to actually believe between the two of them? Because we believe actions stem from somewhere. For you to call me, you probably thought about me. So, and I do this every day. So it's easier to believe the action. So even when a man tells us or he likes us or something, we actually look at his actions, not his words. We're looking at your actions. Is the person, if you're even having a conversation with your girls, they'll be like, is he consistent? What is he doing to show that he actually likes you? So that shows you that the actions are more important. So when a man in his actions is showing, he's saying something, we take it seriously. And then you just begin, maybe he's shy, or maybe he's building up to something. And we like the person, so I'm anticipating the day he'll not come say, oh, as you've noticed, I keep calling, I keep doing this, it's because I like you. So that's why we said, the ladies would pick the actions over words any day. We believe you're going to finally come and stamp your actions with a word. So,
All right.
yeah,
So
that's it.
yeah, it's really important. But I think let's put a cap on it today. But unpopular demand, they want the topic, what it means to
The pursuit.
the pursuit. So what does it mean either ways? What is the right pursuit? What is the wrong pursuit? All right. So for the last free copy of the book, we have given like different tags for brothers and sisters. Who can name like 4 tags? The fastest person to write 4 tags.
4 tags.
Yes, will win. Apart from the Project Brothers, somebody already won something on that. So example, the Project Brothers. Okay.
So let's have 4 more tags.
We need 4 more tags. The first person to get 4 tags gets the free copy. The Hungry Brothers, the Evil Brothers. But you're naming just one.
You guys write them all at once.
Write them all at once. All at once. So the best.
Sorry, who is the jealous brother, please?
The scared of commented attention seekers, brother Sid.
Oh my God.
I think you have to write all at once. All at once.
You guys are really amazing.
They're not hearing us at all.
Zoe says, please, that's 4.
That's 4. You have to put them together in one comment.
Oh, wow. The comments have really been
Put
funny.
them together. Who's going to be the first person? Put them together. Tunde the bestie. Evil bread. Tunde the bestie was last. Yes.
Okay.
All right. Good job. Good job, Shalom. Olubukola. Very good. Very good.
Zoe just here with her own names.
Tunde the bestie. Yes. Oh, you missed Tunde the bestie. Tunde the bestie was from the last conversation.
Was that male and female best friends?
Yes, male and female best friends. Please, in the book, I have a whole chapter on that, and also
male
before the
and
book.
besties.
Yes, is it right scripturally? Can we be friends? What's about it? You find it here. I'm not going to give up on that. Okay, so the next live, I don't know, I'm going to talk to Minister Ruth and Minister Israel and everyone who wants to.
Okay.
If you would like to join live, you can just put me at Pastor, I would like to join live. I would like to air my own opinion.
I
It's
think
like you guys
has a lot of views to air.
So Minister Vic, I am so like angry against today. Beware of today.
It's amazing.
So if you would love to come, if you want to come on live and you really think that there's a point of view that we need to share concerning this, please let me know about it.
Yeah, I think we have the conversations.
Yes. So I think that Zuleka, they are actually calling you on popular demand that you should be on live to have this conversation. Okay. So before we go today, the next live, we're not going to be talking about what it means to pursue. We're going to talk about when am I not ready? How do I know I'm ready? When is this conversation is just for me to learn and not to practicalize?
That's important.
Yes, I think we lay that as a foundation, and
yes.
maybe we do it together. Okay, we do it together. We start with that, and then we'll conclude with the rest. Yes. So today we want to congratulate our winners. First of all, they did so good. The early bird, Dr. Herling, well done. You should come in early. The question for the first time was quite easy.
Yeah.
You didn't need to remember Tunde the bestie. That one is very good. And then number 2, we had the next winner was, who was the second winner? Amanda. Dr. Amanda, and then Shalom won the 3rd copy today. All right, guys, please try to pre-order. The pre-order is going. We don't know we don't
With the
know what
special
the
gift.
actual cost will be. This pre-order is just there, and I said it's going to come with a 10% discount from my next 10 releases, whatever book I write at any
that's
time
amazing. That's
from
amazing.
now. Those that pre-order, hi Dr. Even, it's going to come with 10% discount for my next 10 books that I'm writing. So please get a copy. And these conversations will not be real if you don't have your copy. We're saying we want the book to start a conversation. I don't want you to read the book and agree with everything in the book. I want you to read the book with a pen and a paper and say, no, I don't agree on this. No, this doesn't work for me. No, this is good. And then we have the charts, the conversation. So it's not a book like I'm shoving down your throat and say, this is the final truth.
This is law.
This is law. No, it's coming from a point. This is like an invitation of, hey, can we talk? That's the she who listens about it. So as the author, I'm giving you the book and say, can we talk? And I hope that when you also get the book as well, you can give to someone and say, hey, what do you think about this part of the book? Can we talk? So let us start these awkward conversations. I think the pathway to purity is sincerity. It starts from here.
Absolutely.
If we skip being able to open up and if we try to start from perfectionism, being perfect, we will not be able to get to where we want us to get to. So we must be able to have these conversations and then process together. And of course, the Word of God becomes our guideline, where it is really absolutely normal to say this is how this is what is going on, this is what I think about this. So that's the only way it works, because the moment I feel like I have to shut down a certain area, then I'm not going to be sincere, and there is no way that. So the pathway to purity is actually sincerity. No, there is no other way. So this is a forum whereby of course we are Christians, we're guided by the Word of God, but but we are going to get to the point whereby we'll be able to talk and analyze. No point will be shut down. Every point will be analyzed and understood. And I hope that we'll be able to get to the point whereby I'm hoping that we can create that healthy space and content for the next generation to build upon. So that's what it's all about. So thank you so much, Mr. Ruth. And of course, you're going to be getting a copy because I need to do a review on the book.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
It's been fun. We definitely need to have more lives.
Yes, more lives. More lives are coming before the book will be released. So please go back and watch the ones that you have missed. Okay? And stay glued on our socials, okay? And we'll be telling you when the next conversation will be coming up. If you have any questions, anything you want us to discuss about specifically, someone say how can you start this conversation with your parents? I think we'll talk about that. Not just conversation with your parents, with your pastors. Many of us really struggled on how to go and tell your fire-branded pastor that this is what is going on. So, and not because they are bad people, but just because it's just hard to have that conversation. So how can we create an environment whereby you can really go ahead and say what you can, and how can we be that safe place as well, that people can talk to as well, these things that we're going through. We don't have to bottle up, until things happen. So Zoe would give exactly the timing. I have to see about this working class guests. They're busy people. But
I think if it's 9 p.m. Oh yeah, other people as well.
Yes, if it's 9 p.m., but it's definitely going to be 9 p.m. Maybe once in every 2 to 3 days, we'll have a conversation. So, but you're going to have like up to 24 hours, 48 hours notice on.
So everybody can prepare.
But the pursuit will be this Saturday. The pursuit, that one. This Saturday at 9, we'll be talking about the pursuit. We want to ask the ladies, what does it mean? What do you mean that?
How do we want to be pursued?
What do you mean by telling you that the Lord said it's not enough? I'm angry. On Friday, you will need to make me not be angry. If you're a daughter of Zion, then you should value the word of the Father.
Hey, please. Let's just leave this for Saturday.
Yes. So until Saturday, I'm pissed. That's why we're going to leave it. Until Saturday, I'm pissed. So Saturday, we have to come and learn. We have to come and hear. And
unlearn.
Let's unlearn and unlearn
yes.
as well as possible, as well, and it's needed. So thank you so much, ma'am. And yep.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you to everyone that's been so active in the comments. It's been amazing.
Enjoyed the comment section.
Yes.
This comment
the
section
comment section has been amazing.
It has been amazing. So thank you so much. Please visit Minister Ruth's channel at Redmond Tali on YouTube. You would have amazing content concerning these topics. She's actually really
and I think
good at it.
This is starting a conversation, so I'll be amped up to do more of these.
Yes. Spin-offs from this, please, ma'am. Spin-off from this and etc.
There be so many ideas, so much content.
Yes. Maybe on Saturday too, we will not just talk about the person. First of all, let's make it a 3-point of conversation on Saturday. What do I do with emerging emotions and feelings? So because these things happen, like, all of a sudden you feel a certain way. How do I, in Christian context, how do I, especially when you're trying to run away from the emotions, I can personally say, it's like the more you're trying to run away from it, it's like there's a door on the other side that leads you back to where you started from. So how can you find the right door that leads to Jesus to save you? So we talk about that, and then we now go to the point that there's a time where it's not the time to run. There's a time where it's the time to pursue. And how do you pursue?
And then what is the pursuit?
And what is the pursuit? Yes. All right. So that's what to look till Saturday. All right. So people of God, as I before then, I want to say one more time, please get your pre-order. We are halfway gone the pre-orders.
Wow.
So please, thanks for everyone who have pre-ordered, and thanks for the free copies we gave today are from people who like, Pastor, I want to pre-order this, right? And then I want to
Thank you.
I want to pre-order this. So Pastor does not look good at me because I wore hoodie. You see it. We'll talk about this.
Pastor, do you know, like, I think the last time I was more casual, then I saw what you wore, like you tried. So today I said, I have to come. I need to do better.
Okay, it's okay.
Then you decided to chill. So on Saturday, let's agree that we are arriving.
Chill. I always go for chill. I always go for chill.
On Saturday, I am arriving.
Thank you. For me, I always go for chill because there's no way now. I should come out with suit and tie. They will not listen to us again.
Did I say arriving in suit and tie? The last time when you were in the suit and tie.
Okay. All right, people of God. I hope we have a wonderful evening. I hope that we all strive to please the Lord, even as we're having these conversations. We're going to pick things from here that will help us in our Christian walk. So the Lord bless you, and we hope that we'll see you on Saturday.
On Saturday. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.